This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Everyone who works at Starbucks, full or part-time, gets stock in our company. Which means that when Starbucks succeeds, our people do too. At Starbucks, benefits like company stock are just the start.
Hey, I'm Candice Lim.
And I'm Kate Lindsay, and you're listening to ICYMI,
In case you missed it.
Slate's podcast about internet culture.
And Kate, I saw this week's biggest news, and I had to slack the team, but specifically you, immediately about it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I mean, this week, whether you knew it or not, we bore witness to a miracle. And that miracle is an act of resurrection because Trisha Paytas, our favorite person to bring up on this podcast, whose show I attended recently, announced the birth of her third baby.
It finally happened. You saw her pregnant.
8 months pregnant, yeah.
Exactly. I don't think I clicked on the link, but what is the name of the baby? That was the number one question, I think.
Well, yes. So if you're aware of the Trisha Paytas children lore, this is her third baby. Her prior children have been given pretty ridiculous, sounds like a judgment. I'm not judging, but pretty outlandish, flamboyant names. There's Malibu Barbie, there's Elvis. And so, all eyes and ears were on what is this baby going to be named? And the name is Aquaman.
Oh.
Yep.
Do you think that was her choice?
Yes, but I also think it was destined, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that, the second question I definitely asked that day was, who died so Aquaman could live?
Right. The sort of long-running internet joke, but eerily prescient sort of thing that happens, which is that when Trisha Paytas has a child, more often than not, a large cultural figure has passed away. And so the joke is that this baby is now the reincarnation of that person. The same day that Aquaman's birth was announced, the death of Ozzy Osbourne was announced. Huge cultural figure. Do you want to know, Candice, who the last person to take a photo with Ozzy Osbourne is?
Oh my God, I'm so scared. Is it Aquaman?
It's Jason Momoa. Yeah, Jason Momoa took a picture with Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne at Black Sabbath's farewell show. Jason Momoa iconically plays Aquaman in the Aquaman movies. I mean, if that doesn't send a chill down your spine.
Wow.
If that doesn't make you believe. And that's what I'm saying. I think the name Aquaman was destined because of that connection that we didn't even know it yet.
Wow. Okay, so we're thinking, if we are going on this conspiracy journey, we are thinking that Aquaman, last person to be seen with Ozzy, the spirit of Ozzy absorbs Aquaman, carries the name to Trisha Paytas' baby.
Yes.
Boom.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, something about that is cosmic. Something about it is connected. And I wouldn't dare say I understand it. But for me, it only affirms this theory. And so that is my big internet news for the week. But what is yours?
Well, similar vein, almost not really. I was going to ask, have you heard about this girl who's interning at a law firm in New York this summer who was fired because she was biting people?
The big law biter. According to a legal news site called Above the Law, an intern, a summer associate at a big Manhattan law firm has sunk her teeth into upwards of 10 colleagues, including an HR representative.
Say what now?
Including an HR representative?
Who probably fired her, right?
Do we think it was the HR representative at the Coldplay concert? Listen, maybe it's all connected like Aquaman and Trisha's baby.
HR has had such a bad summer. Anyway, okay.
I know.
What you're hearing, what you just heard, that is Tony Ducopel on CBS This Morning. The story is a summer intern at this law firm is called Sydney Austin, allegedly bit 10 people. And here's the thing. She only got fired once it hit double digits, but the reason why it took so long to escalate is because according to Above the Law, it's like this law journal site, she was, quote, personable, and there was reluctance to escalate the matter.
I mean, all right, one, I love that they were like, okay, we're going to count to 10. And at 10 bites, if you haven't stopped biting, you're out of here. I mean, I just like, what is the context in which these bites are happening? Like, is it being done out of hunger or anger? Or is she being like cute?
Questions that no one has answers to. I think what's really funny is like, I think there is actually no sane explanation for this, right? You know, hot take, I don't think you're supposed to bite people professionally. Hey, personally, do what you want. However, you don't get paid to bite, you get paid to litigate. And here's the thing. People were so scared of her, okay, at the law firm. They were wearing long sleeves around her in the summer.
That is, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, why? It's very much like victim blaming in that sense, where it's like, well, maybe you should have been wearing longer sleeves. It's like, no, maybe my colleague shouldn't be biting me.
Exactly. And like, it's funny because there is an opportunity for clout chasing here of being like, oh my God, I went to college with her and yeah, she bit me too. But the best thing we have in terms of like a secondary source here is like someone in the big law subreddit. Look, they claim to know her, not verified. And they said, quote, she made a really stupid mistake and has paid the price for it.
Mistakes. It's not like it was one rogue bite.
Right. And then on top of that, I think obviously the question we're asking is like, you know, how intense were these bites? Once again, Above the Law reporting. The bites were not, quote, in an aggressive, we're beefing way. First off, what? Who gave this quote?
You know, the way that people bite each other when they're beefing.
Exactly. Call Nikki. But rather, the quote continues, a, quote, faux, quirky, manic, pixie, dream girl cross with the Donner Party vibe.
I'm afraid that vibe, like, that does not make the vibe any clearer to me. When you add the Donner Party in there, it's like, wait, so she was hungry. That's just, yeah.
Exactly.
I need to see it to believe it. And I don't know, it's giving shades of Army Hammer.
Exactly.
It's something's going on there. And we got to get to the bottom of it.
But I don't want to get bit. I don't want to get bit. This is Jurassic World.
No, we have to. It's a professional hazard of being journalists if we want to report these types of important stories.
You're right. I think what I also kind of find really funny about this story, not only just the premise of it itself, but the reporting of it is really interesting because under every article I read about this, there is something they keep including, which is, fun fact, do you want to guess who else worked at and fell in love at this law firm?
Does it have to do with biting?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think they bite each other? Does it love at first bite?
Hey, they could on TLC. It's none other than Barack and Michelle Obama.
What? Oh, I understand why you would put that in every article now. I'm like, oh yeah, I would just have to say that connection.
Right. So now we have Michelle Obama with her wonderful podcast IMO waking up every morning, all of a sudden sees law firm biter, and she's like, why am I in this? Why am I in this?
Why are my Google alerts blowing up because of this? Literally. But you know, okay, so this week we've had biters, we've had babies, but there's been another story that has been dominating both of our feeds. And it involves one of the first TikToks I know I certainly ever saw on the platform. In fact, I might go as far as to say it is the TikTok that made me say TikTok is for me.
And you know what, same. Because today we're talking about Sylvanian Drama, the hilarious and recently quiet TikTok account that takes Calico critters and puts them in weird situations. It's actually come under legal fire for possible copyright infringement and more.
Yeah, so when we come back, why the company behind Calico Critters is coming after a young woman in Ireland and what this means for playing with IP on TikTok.
This podcast is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Because Progressive offers discounts for paying in full, owning a home, and more. Plus, you can count on their great customer service to help you when you need it, so your dollar goes a long way. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save on car insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states and situations.
You know what doesn't belong in epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. That's why you should switch to Mint Mobile. I love the quality of Mint Mobile's wireless service. In comparison to my old provider, I make a lot of calls to and from work and they never drop. And I'm saving so much with Mint Mobile. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/ICYMI. That's mintmobile.com/ICYMI. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 per month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Hey listeners, hope you're enjoying today's show. If this is your first time listening, then welcome. We are thrilled to have you here. In case you missed it, our show comes out twice a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so make sure you never miss an episode like this past Wednesdays on the Astronomer CEO Kiss Cam affair. And if you're not already, consider subscribing to Slate Plus to hear the first episode of our ICYMI book club. And we're back. So, I want to play probably one of the videos that made TikTok what it is today. This is a video that was posted in 2021. It is set over Lady Gaga's Just Dance. Shout out Colby O'Donis. Kate, you and I both love this video, but could you set the scene of what this video looks like?
So it starts with one of these fuzzy little elephants looking in the mirror, and she's talking about wanting to lose, L-O-O-S-E, weight. And all these other Calico critters around her are interacting. You know, she now has a personal trainer in the form of this very fuzzy little bear. They talk to each other like the way you like talk in your group chat, like, hey girly, OMG, except they're really mean to each other. Like, they're currently telling each other to piss off right now. She's weighing herself. She's being very disordered about her body. I guess, trigger warning before watching this Calico critter video. Oh, she has a gun now. I'm so sorry. She has a gun now. Trigger warning, eating disorders, trigger warning, gun violence. Oh, but she uses Depop, which is sustainable, and we love that. So, suffice to say, the video is chaotic. They're always chaotic. If you haven't seen them before, Calico critters are like, they're little animals, but they have a very specific like peach fuzz texture to them, and they're dressed in clothes, and it's very like quaint. Like they look like they're probably like, they don't live in the 100-acre wood, but like they're in like the neighborhood over
101-acre woods.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's also done like really amateurish. Like when I say they're like moving and she's holding a gun, it's literally like looks like how you would play with dolls as a kid. It's like stop motion-esque, but like picture Ben Wyatt stop motion in Parks and Rec. And, you know, the whole plot line of this is, you know, she wants to lose weight. And that's what somehow it starts with, you know, the relatable problem of body image and ends with that same animal holding a gun in her hand and threatening someone and then plugging her Depop. So that's, I mean, enough said for why it's iconic. But I think we're not the only ones to think this, Candice.
Yeah, because this video alone has 11 million views, okay? And it is from a creator called @Sylvanian_Drama. And in the last 4 years, this is just what they've been doing, making multiple infinite videos like this, kind of the same characters and dolls, but just like even more unhinged narrative lines. And yet a lot of times they'll kind of like go a little bit iconic, a line or two. And the thing is, This account now has more than 2.5 million followers, 67 million views, but they have not posted since December 2024.
Yeah, people have started to realize there's been a drought in the Sylvanian family, or Calico Critter, which is what they're called in the US. And that's because the person behind Sylvanian drama is getting sued by Epoch, which is the Japanese company behind these dolls. And so the Sylvanian family dolls were created back in 1985. And I don't know, I gotta say, I didn't really think much about them until I started seeing these videos. But now the creator has been hit with accusations of copyright infringement, trademark infringement, and unfair competition. I mean, it kind of sounds like a plot from Sylvanian drama, because it just is so silly to think of these fuzzy little animals being sort of met with such big words.
That's so true. That's so true. And I think what kind of really ups the ante here is that the person that they are suing is a woman in Ireland named Thea von Engelbrechten, okay? And von Engelbrechten was a 21-year-old student at Dublin City University when they started posting, when they posted the video we just watched. And she gave a few interviews between now and then, and she basically said that she started the account because she was inspired by Desperate Housewives and Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars, shows that I love.
You'd be forgiven for still not being quite clear about what is happening in these videos. And trust me, I'm as confused as you are. But that's kind of the joke. It's like these cute little animals are getting into situations involving drug use, guns, as we mentioned. They're relapsing. There's violence. The humor is very dark, dry, nonsensical, very, very online. It's very funny that they've kind of applied these girl interrupted vibes to fuzzy little dolls that otherwise are being played with by children.
And these videos blew up enough for the creator to drop out of school and go full-time content creator. In fact, she gave an interview, said she wants to be a film director. And she also has said that this isn't serious. This TikTok thing, this account, it's not really that serious. In 2023, she said, "I'm always surprised that I'm not already canceled for the stuff that I do." She was kind of referencing, the drug use, the relapsing, the weight loss of it all, the weight talk of it all. But she did say, "I don't mean any harm."
Yeah, which is interesting because she might not mean any harm, but harm has befallen the Sylvanian drama account because, forget getting canceled. She's getting sued. And not necessarily because of a Calico Critter pulling a gun, but for doing SpawnCon with these Calico Critters. So you might have noticed if you scroll back on her account, there's obviously these little chaotic fun videos, but then sometimes she'll make these videos to partner with Netflix is one of the recent brands she's partnered with to promote Squid Game. And then there's Kate Spade, Sephora, Burberry, Hilton, Marc Jacobs, Oatly, Supergoop. I mean, Taco Bell. There's everyone wants a bit of what Sylvanian drama has. But that ended up getting her in hot water because while she may own these Sylvanian dolls or these Calico Critters, she does not own the brand. And she doesn't have the right to make money off of the Calico Critter brand. And that is what the company Epoch is accusing her of doing, is essentially causing irreparable injury to their company's reputation through her social media account.
Yeah. And Epoch, in their lawsuit, is also claiming that Sylvanian drama's videos could confuse potential purchasers of Sylvanian family dolls, okay? And that potential buyers may form a false impression that her videos are actually ads produced, authorized, or endorsed by Epoch. Basically, that Epoch is paying her to make these ads, which are, once again, not really ads for them. But Epoch said that they are pursuing this legal path because they, one, want to prove that this is copyright infringement. They want a jury trial. They want to stop her from infringing on this copyright in the future. Translation, they want her to stop making videos with their stuff. They're also asking for damages of $150,000 for each copyrighted work infringed. To me, that means that they want $150K for each TikTok she's made with other partnered people.
Yeah.
Plus all the profits that she made from those partnerships. I think this is a lot of legal talk, but there also has been a reaction in her comments about this. What is your reaction, Kate? And what do you think her followers are thinking as well?
Yeah, I mean, this is a bold swing from Epoch because it's not like I don't agree with them. What they're saying is very reasonable, but they had to know it was not going to go over well targeting an account that, like we said, is so popular and so woven into the fabric of TikTok. And so the comments that they're getting, the Sylvanian family's account, their posts from the past just week, all the comments are inundated with people defending Sylvanian drama's honor. So one of the comments that's all over the place is, free Sylvanian drama. But then another one is, a bit more articulate, saying, imagine suing someone for doing free promo and having fun with your creations. And then people are getting kind of catty with it because, from the outside, they're just seeing a big company come after this creator who is just having fun and using their toys in a kind of a silly way. And so their take on this is a comment, put a disclosure on the front of the box. This is not a toy. Do not play with. We will sue you. And so I think they just think this whole move is very Grinchian from Epoch. But that also is not really a full understanding of the lawsuit because, like we said, they might actually have a point with the sort of specific issue of copyright infringement and these ads that they're going for. But why don't we first take a break?
Yeah, and when we come back, why it's not so easy to pick sides in this case and what the internet is getting right and wrong.
Everyone can use a little help to shape the direction of their lives, from fitness routines to mental resilience or navigating personal goals to tackling burnout. That's what the Life Kit podcast from NPR is here to do. If you're looking to move with more intention or just need thoughtful guidance on living better, Life Kit delivers strategies to help you make meaningful, sustainable change. Life Kit offers real stories, relevant insights, and clear takeaways to help you meet those large and small decision-making moments with confidence and clarity. Trusted voices and expert advice can help take you to the next step, however big or small. Listen to Life Kit to hear thoughtful conversations that unpack the emotional and practical side of personal wellness, along with actionable guidance you can actually use. No fluff, no judgment. Get help tackling common issues like relationships, finances, parenting, and your career. Then, walk away with a game plan you can implement right away. Life Kit isn't just another podcast about self-improvement. It's about understanding how to live a little better starting now. Listen now to the Life Kit podcast from NPR.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
Your local Benjamin Moore retailer is more than a paint expert. They're someone with paint in their soul. A sixth sense honed over decades. And if you have a question about paint, it's almost as if they can read your mind.
I sense you need a 2-inch angle brush for the trim in your family room. Regal selected an eggshell finish and directions to the post office.
Benjamin Moore paint is only sold at locally owned stores. Benjamin Moore. See the love.
And we're back. And first things first, let's just get super clear about what people are saying online versus what the lawsuit actually alleges. Because as we last were saying, there is this confusion between what people are reacting to online versus the reality of the case. And so Sylvanian Drama is not being sued because Epoch just doesn't like her videos. Listen, right. I'm sure they're not thrilled about them because, again, she gives their creatures a gun. But that's not why they're suing. They're suing because she's using all of their creatures and basically their name, their brand, their IP to make money for herself. And so, it's almost like she is partnering with Netflix using Calico critters. And it's like kind of the only person who can really make the decision to partner Calico critters with Netflix is the owner of Calico critters. So she's just kind of, she's using the clout that company has, but taking the money for herself. Not saying her work isn't great, but when you see sort of the nitty gritty of what the lawsuit is talking about, you can understand where they're coming from. But I also think it's understandable that those lines are starting to get blurred on social media in terms of like am I working as a brand? Am I working as an individual? Is this personal or is this professional? Social media makes that a lot harder. And I think the proof is in the fact that this is not the first time we've seen a lawsuit like this.
I mean, another case that this kind of reminds me of is when Netflix sued the unofficial Bridgerton musical. Do you remember this?
Yeah. No, it was a similar vibe. It was, oh, I love this IP, Bridgerton in this case, and I want to build off of it and create something, which, again, like very normal internet impulse. I mean, that's what fan fiction is.
So what we're talking about is the unofficial Bridgerton musical. This was inspired by the Netflix show, the book series by Julia Quinn. And this began on TikTok in early 2021.
This is what you call a honeymoon. Pacing round our separate rooms, running from our elaborate ruse. We're doomed. Please forgive me your grace.
I kind of like it. I was going to ask, have you heard that before?
When we were talking about this earlier, I was like, you know what? I don't actually think I've heard a single song from this. But now it's like, no, I have. That has shown up for me. And it's early enough in TikTok to still have that kind of sense memory where I'm brought right back to lockdown.
Right. And like, I think it went viral because the creators of that song, they would, make acoustic versions. They would let you duet with other people. Oh my God. Remember earlier on TikTok, people were like duetting with their little Apple mics, being like, like jumping in. Like, it was so popular that they were able to release an album of these songs, 15 songs in September of 2021. And they're all performed by Emily Bear and Abigail Barlow. The funny thing is, this duo, Bear and Barlow, they won a Grammy. They won a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album in 2022 for this, which is major. I don't think they were expecting it. I wasn't. But they've also, been able to create some IRL cash from this. For example, they hosted a live concert. There was a sold out audience. Tickets were ranging up to $149 each. There were VIP packages. This kind of put them on the map.
Yeah, I mean, well, I remember this being huge on TikTok. I feel like I haven't heard from them recently. What are they up to now?
Yeah, weirdly, I'm a really big fan of Emily Bear for some reason. I just think she's so, adorable. And she is actually, a composer for film and TV. Abigail releases her own music, but they both wrote the soundtrack for Moana 2. And also, Emily was a featured pianist on the Renaissance tour for Beyonce.
Oh, okay. So they're still up to stuff. This lawsuit didn't, because I had this fear that this lawsuit kind of ruined their musical dreams. So I'm glad they're still going. But they did end up having to settle because basically Netflix accused them of something that is very similar to the Calico Creators lawsuit. So in the Netflix lawsuit, it says defendants Abigail Barlow and Emily Bear and their companies, Barlow and Bear, have taken valuable intellectual property from the Netflix original series Bridgerton to build an international brand for themselves, which is very similar to what Sylvania and Drama is accused of copyright infringement, trademark infringement, unfair competition. It's essentially you're making money off of IP that is not yours.
Yeah, and it's ironic Netflix were the ones suing because the roles are kind of reversed when it comes to Sylvania and Drama. One of Sylvania and Drama's last posts was a sponsored post for the Netflix show Squid Game. And Netflix is not the target of the lawsuit, but they likely initiated the brand deal.
No, that is one of the reasons why I think I am inclined, even though I do understand this lawsuit, to be on Sylvania and Drama's side and not just because, to me, when I picture her, I just picture these cute critters.
Right.
I find it kind of unfair that Netflix, is well versed in this type of copyright law because they literally sued over it. And then in this scenario, they were perfectly fine presumably being the ones to reach out and ask Sylvania and Drama to do a brand deal, which is the same thing they sued over. It's kind of just ironic because she broke the rules by profiting from IP she didn't own. But basically, I think it's understandable that if a company, a big one like Netflix or Taco Bell or, whoever comes to you and wants to do a brand deal, I think it's fair to assume that they're coming from a place of, yes, this is all right. I mean, obviously you should be doing your own research, but I think it's just especially ironic that of all the companies asking her, Netflix is more familiar than any of them with how this might be an issue. And yet here we are. I mean, we don't know if the companies were aware that what they were asking her to do was illegal, but if I find it weird that they're not named in this at all, and that it all just comes down to this 20-something-year-old. You know, it takes two to tango.
I think what also complicates this is the fact that social media is especially blurry now. I mean, let's say you make a TikTok that's really stupid.
Well, that would never be me.
Right? Like just two dolls being put together and you make this stuff for your friends, right? Like at first the question is like, you're probably using it personally, but at some point, are you using it professionally? Like, do you get these brand deals just for making these little videos that didn't have the intent of going so big? And I think the issue is like the normalization of brand deals and creator funds. They really make it seem like you can have the best of both worlds of like you can make personal content and post it. You don't even have to show your face and you can make money off of it.
I know. I think one of the things that has happened over the past 5 years with TikTok is that you don't have to be an influencer. You don't have to be a full-time content creator to get a brand deal and or to make money from the creator fund, which is great. But then I do think it makes it hard to know like who you are and what like it, I can understand being someone who just makes like $100 a month from the creator fund, not viewing themselves as someone who should be like held to the same standards as like an actual influencer who should know copyright law. And that's kind of why the internet is weird right now in general to me, because it is like half people still wanting to use it for its original intent of like just coming on and having fun with your friends and everything should be fair game and it's a platform for the masses, versus this like tool for capitalism where everyone uses it to make a side hustle and be an influencer even if they just have 300 followers. It's like when I post, am I me? Am I suddenly a creator? You know, it's like that question when it's like, how do I know if I'm a writer? And it's like, if you write, you're a writer and it's supposed to be really empowering. It's like, how do I know when I count as an influencer? Is it just when I post? And so I think we're going to see a lot more issues like this because I think it's fair that a person isn't walking around wondering if they're violating copyright law when to them they're just shit posting. But at the same time, maybe having more literacy in media and in social media also includes becoming more aware of these kind of minefields that we didn't have to worry about back when we were just like downloading songs from LimeWire and making our own MySpace layouts.
Yeah, and knowing what you're liable for. That's kind of the moving goalpost of it all.
Right, because like the second you do get paid for content, like, you know, say with Calico Critters, you are technically a competitor of Calico Critters, of Epoch.
Yeah.
But no one like, you know, when you start to work at a company, they sit you down and they're like, here are the rules of this company. And also, if you're in trouble, we have our lawyers. And like, you're given like an orientation on how it all works. But most people become creators just kind of by stumbling into it. And there's no one who like sits them down and is like, okay, by the way, there's this thing called copyright law and it's crazy.
Yeah. And here's the deal. We may be Sylvanian drama watchers, but guess what? We're not lawyers. I know we're not lawyers. However, if you're in the comments of Sylvanian drama, it seems like a lot of her followers are like defending her, rising up for her. I mean, here's the thing, like, how should Epoch have dealt with this?
No, it's an interesting question because Epoch's lawsuit is not unfounded. It's not even incorrect. And yet I'm like wondering, why do I feel this pull to still stand behind Sylvanian drama? And I think one of the reasons is because the tactics they're using are really harsh. Like they're requesting damages of up to $150,000 for each of the copyrighted works, plus all the profits. Like that, in my brain, bankrupts someone. It would bankrupt me, I can tell you that much. So that feels particularly aggressive, but it also might just be a tactic to get her to settle because we have one of the things that it said in these articles is they have tried to privately reach an agreement, and we don't really know what those conversations consisted of or what was offered to resolve it. But it does seem like I just can't imagine they actually think they're going to get that amount of money from her because no matter how well Netflix pays, I don't think she has close to, I don't know, $500,000 sitting around in her bank account. If she does, then never mind. I'm going to start making a Sylvanian drama too and see where that gets me. But I think also just from a reputation standpoint, like even if they weren't being harsh, even if they had the most cut and dry case in the world, I always think you're better joining the internet instead of trying to beat it. And in this case, there's no way to spin this that isn't a big company coming after a beloved, silly little TikTok account. And I think that power dynamic, even though she was a full-time content creator, even though she was probably making a good living off these brand deals, to the average viewer, it looks like a really unfair fight. And even more so, it just feels very like we're having that reaction of like, wait, I like this. Don't take it from me. Why are you ruining this? And so I understand the reaction. I understand why Epoch's doing it. I just wish there was maybe like a middle ground. Like maybe, do you think there's something Sylvanian drama could have done differently to get us there?
I think you're totally right, which is that I think the internet is taking this personally because they kind of feel like Sylvanian drama is one of us, right? Think of all the influencers we complain about who were like, they're so unrelatable now that they went to like Fashion Week. Hey, no offense, Sylvanian drama, not going to be at Met Gala.
Okay, what if it's like the Calico critter has fallen down the stairs at the Met Gala?
Oh, which would be so iconic, right? And that's the thing of like, we root for Sylvanian drama because we think she is one of us. And in a way, she kind of is. Epoch doesn't see it that way.
No. And she's like kind of not. And she's kind of not because we're not partnering with Taco Bell, despite our insistence.
Yeah. But I think in terms of like, is there something Sylvanian drama, the account, could have done differently? Vulture wrote a pretty good timeline of like what is going on here. And apparently this is not the first time Epoch has like actually reached out to or come after Sylvanian drama. Basically, around 2023, Epoch went to TikTok and was like, can you take down her videos because those videos do not count as fair use. And TikTok was able to take down her account. Now, people noticed there were like tweets about it. And then Sylvanian drama got her account back. She filed a counter notice saying that her videos counted as parody.
Okay, so this beef is deep. This isn't just out of nowhere.
This is the type of beef you like bite people over. No offense.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right, let's put a pin in that. I think we've gotten to the bottom of it.
Exactly. But basically, like, this lawsuit came after Epoch was trying to like reach a deal with her over 11 months. And I think the exhaustion of that and the fact that she wasn't really playing ball allegedly led to this lawsuit. And the latest is just that like at the time of this taping, Sylvanian drama actually has not yet responded to the lawsuit. I'm willing to bet they're working with lawyers and like trying to kind of like preserve their content. But Epoch did say they are actively engaged in settlement discussions with them.
Yeah, okay. So it kind of sounds like this is not... Sylvanian drama was not blindsided by this.
I don't think so.
This was an issue that for the past year or so has been hovering over her account, and she's just digging in her heels, which I do have to respect.
Right.
But it does make this battle a little less cut and dry, even though obviously I love going to battle for Sylvanian drama in the comments of like very cute videos of Calico critters. It's very funny to me. But I guess that's actually the question, because when you do go to the Sylvanian family's account, it's totally overrun with this.
Yeah.
The Sylvanian drama account, if the lawsuit were to go forward, would probably not be able to continue doing anything at all. Do we think there's a way that like either can recover from this? Because I got to be honest, the only reason I ever thought about this brand as an adult was because of those videos.
Right.
And so I don't know what Epoch gains by like eliminating this from the zeitgeist, because then it's just going to fade away and no one's going to be thinking about them at all.
I'm with you where like, look, these dolls were created in 1985. These are 40-year-old dolls that I never, ever thought about or even thought about purchasing until this TikTok showed up on my feed. And I was kind of like, I love them. I want to buy some. And the thing is, I think Epoch suing this TikTok account has actually negatively affected. It's the worst PR they're probably going to get because, like, why are they coming after someone who just, like, really actually deep down probably just really enjoys playing with those dolls?
Yeah.
And now I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm never buying those dolls. In fact, I'm buying a Labubu just to, like, really. And then you find out that, like, they also own Labubu. And it's like, oh, great. They don't.
Oh, my God. Oh, the Labubu, Lafufu lawsuits coming next.
Oh my God. I know. But I actually have no idea how Sylvanian drama is going to move after this, because it's probably going to be really hard to partner with other companies. You know, Taco Bell Del Taco. I don't know.
I feel like maybe she can't partner with companies, but I feel like, you know, I kind of get a sense of her spirit from these videos and from the way she's behaving in the face of this lawsuit, which is basically to be like arms crossed, stomping her foot. I think all she needs to do is just like throw a Barbie in there, and then suddenly it's like not all one brand anymore. It's like actually a mix. And I don't know. Maybe that just means she's going to have Mattel coming after her next. I don't know. But I think it's worth finding the next iteration of this because clearly people find it very fun and charming. And maybe the Calico Critters era has ended, but I don't know. Maybe there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drama page in our future, or I'm a big Curious George head, maybe a Curious George drama. Like, I'd love to see it. And so, if anything, maybe this is just setting up her next chapter, a sequel, and I'm sad.
I mean, maybe she makes her own dolls. You know, she spends like the year just kind of dealing with the lawsuit, going to this like temple in the hills and just like learning how to make dolls.
Oh, Temple in the Hills. Yeah. Okay. Wow. This is very spiritual.
Right.
You can tell someone just read our book club.
Exactly. Slate Plus. And she comes back and she's like, hey guys, I just made the most unsuable thing because I made them myself. You want to sue someone, sue me. And it's like, wow.
Yeah. Can't sue yourself.
She did that. I think the last thing I'll say is that the reason why this story in particular kind of like emotionally got me is not only because I love this account, but also I've been thinking a lot about other creators on TikTok who don't show their faces in their videos and still make good buck for it. I'm actually thinking about Petunia Rocks, someone that I love. This is a TikTok of just like a purple stuffed hippo.
I love Petunia.
That truly, truly got popular for FaceTiming frat guys. My dream.
Petunia!
Hey, Nick.
How we doing?
How you doing?
I love you. I can't hear you, Petunia, but I love you so much and you look beautiful.
Thank you. Love you.
I love you, Petunia.
And it's run by this like college student. And something I've noticed over the years that Petunia has begun taking brand deals or at least getting commission off posts as this stuffed hippo. She collabed with like the Washington Commanders football team. She did like Hydro Jug Spawn Con. It's just like Stanley Cup, but a different name. And she's like taking PR packages, opening up, like tagging Amika like in the comments. Like there clearly is kind of this draw, this platform setting for a possible bigger brand deal. And I'm worried.
Well, yeah, it sounds a lot like that kind of blurriness we were talking about, which is like, I also have seen these Petunia videos. It's basically just like a joke you would do with your friends, but it's being captured on TikTok. Like it's a very innocent, playful, personal piece of content that people just got really into watching. And when you get a lot of attention from the internet, even on a personal level, even if you don't want to monetize it, brands want to monetize it. And then they come into your DMs and, you know, they send you product. And suddenly this stuffed hippo is an influencer. But with this stuffed hippo being an influencer, then we come to all these same questions like, is Petunia violating some copyright law? Like, do we know what she as the hippo is? Like, you know, Calico Critters, that's the brand of the little figurines that Sylvanian Drama was using.
Right.
Do we know what Petunia is? Like, are they going to come after her?
Extremely good question, because I actually never knew. The closest I could find was like a jelly cat, but it actually is not the right like texture. I mean, a big question is like, oh, is it possible that like her mom or dad just like made Petunia?
Right.
Like it's an original product. Therefore, is she protected from all this stuff we've been talking about? I don't know.
Or her parents are going to sue her and say, we want some of that Petunia money. We made her.
Ooh, custody.
You would be nothing without us. Okay, that's the show. We'll be back in your feed on Wednesday, so definitely subscribe. That way you never miss an episode. Please leave us a rating and review in Apple or Spotify and tell your friends about us. You can follow us on Twitter at ICYMI_pod, and you can always drop us a note at ICYMI@slate.com.
ICYMI is produced by Vic Whitley-Berry, Kate Lindsay, and me, Candice Lim. Daisy Rosario is our senior supervising producer. Mia Lobel is Slate's executive producer of podcasts, and Hillary Fry is Slate's editor-in-chief. See you online.
Or in the Calico Critters prison.
Want to live better?
We've got a lot of work to do.
Join Chris Hemsworth in National Geographic's new Disney Plus original series, Limitless. Live better now.
I'm diving headfirst into cutting-edge science to uncover 3 powerful secrets to living better right now. The growth that occurs through any challenging experience is really what we seek.
Chris Hemsworth stars in Limitless. Live better now. Now streaming on Disney Plus and Hulu.
It's showtime.
This episode is brought to you by FX's Alien Earth, the official podcast. Each week, host Adam Rogers is joined by guests, including the show's creator, cast, and crew, in this exclusive companion podcast. They will explore story elements, deep dive into character motivations, and offer an episode-by-episode behind-the-scenes breakdown of each terrifying chapter in this new series. Search FX's Alien Earth wherever you listen to podcasts.